We will now begin with the opening puja first. Let us get ready in Anjali positions. Let us pay homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. We will now partake in the offerings to the Buddha. These 5 offerings symbolize our gratitude to the Buddha and serves as a symbol to help us to remember his teachings. Please join me wholeheartedly to read the verses together. Offering of light. Light symbolizes wisdom. May the light of Dharma dispel the darkness of ignorance. Offering of incense. Incense symbolizes the fragrance of pure moral conduct. This reminds us to cultivate good conduct. Offering of water. Water symbolizes purity, clarity, and calmness. It reminds us to practice the Buddha's teachings to cleanse one's mind, which is full of desires, ill will, and delusion, to attain the state of purity. Offering of fruits. Fruits symbolize the ultimate fruit of enlightenment, which is our goal. They also remind us that all actions will have their effects. Offering of flowers. Flowers symbolize impermanence. The freshness, fragrance, and beauty of flowers are impermanent. This reminds us that we should all live in the present. Remembering thus, we should reduce our craving and attachment. Let us now pay respect to the Triple Gem. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. And now let us chant the verses for taking the 3 refuges. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Let us chant these verses to observe the 5 precepts. Panatipata veramani sikapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu micacara veramani sikapadang samadhiyami. Musawada veramani sikapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majapamadatana veramani sikapadang samadhiyami. Let us recollect the sublime qualities of the Buddha. Iti piso bhagava arahang sama sambuddho vijacarana sangpano sugato lokavidu anutaro purisadhamma sarati satta dewa manusanang buddho bhagavati. Let us recollect the sublime qualities of the Dharma. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditiko akaliko ehipasiko opanaiko pacatang veditabo vinyuhiti. Let us recollect the sublime qualities of the Sangha. Supatipano bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ujjupatipano bhagavato sāvaka sangho Nyāyapatipano bhagavato sāvaka sangho Samicipatipano bhagavato sāvaka sangho Yadidang cattari purisa yugani Atta purisa pugala Esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Dakineyo anjali karaniyo Anutarang punya ketang lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Alright, so I will start with a couple of announcements first before we begin with the meditation. Okay, the first one is about the BF Building Fund, which is already open, and we do appeal to all our generous members and also friends in the Dharma to support this project as part of our BF's new home. It is a 4-story shop house. And we would like to build this new home to be our vision, as also your vision to have a new home for our own in BF. Yeah, so that we can do more in terms of cultivating the Dharma path together in this fellowship. So be part of the effort to transform many minds to walk along this Dharma path. And there are 3 ways on how all of us can participate in this new BF building fund. The first is that you can contribute through Pay Now. The QR code is here. Or if you like, you can note down the UN number, that is S88SS0089F. The second method is through bank transfer. So this is also open to our friends in the Dharma who resides overseas, outside Singapore. So we also welcome your generous donations through the bank transfer via OCBC Bank with the account name Buddhist Fellowship. And that is the account number 501-815-831-001. The SWIFT code is also provided, OCBC SGSG. And the reference, as you donate, please quote Building Fund. Last but not least is the check payment, which you can make to the Pay Buddhist Fellowship. For further information about the project, you are most welcome to reach out to us via email at info@buddhistfellowship.org or phone us at 62780900. Now, the next announcement is about our next month's Sunday service. We have lined up a series of very refreshing Dharma talks, and we have 4 speakers for next month. Yeah, and we will begin, and all these talks except on the 11th of July, the rest of them can be watched via Facebook. But on the 4th and the 25th of July, those talks will be recorded and they will be published about in 2 to 3 days after the talks. On the 11th of June, on the Fundamental Wisdom of the Middle Way, it is not available for recording or streaming, so those who are interested to join, you are welcome to register online to reserve your slots in BF West premise. Lastly, for another talk by Sister Sylvia scheduled on the 18th of July, that will be streamed live in our Facebook. All right, so next Sunday service on the 4th of July, we will have Ajahn Kemawaro, who will be speaking on using the Dharma to deal with difficulties in life. So this talk is not streamed online. It will be available in YouTube or on our Facebook channel 2 to 3 days after the Sunday. Oh, same day. Okay, so good. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Oh, it's a recorded talk, is it? Oh, sorry. Yeah, my apologies. So it is a pre-recorded talk. So all of us can stream at 10:30 on the 4th of July to 12:30 p.m. Or come to the BF premise, but remember to register online to secure your seat. All right, so this is about the BF Youth and also the Indonesian service. We have lined up a series of talks as well, very exciting. And you can refer further to our posters. But remember, on the 3rd of July, we will start with the mindfulness session 5. Yeah. Whereas for the Indonesian service, the next service will be on the 18th of July and available via YouTube or Zoom. In addition to BF youth, for those of the age of 13 to 16, we also have a program called BF Junior Youth that we host every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. The next talk will be on the 3rd of July titled Rebirth. All of the talks scheduled for next month will be on Zoom unless otherwise stated. And for those even younger, we also have programs catered for you. So we call them the BF Junior. For those upper primary, Note down for the 4th of July, and then for lower primary, the program will be on the 18th of July. Both programs will be available on the Zoom online at 10:30 in the morning. All right, the much anticipated Anapanasati meditation with Brother Beng Hock will begin again on the 25th of July to 5th of September. This is to be hosted on every Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. With the exceptions on the 22nd August that there will be no class. So for those of you who are interested, please do register ASAP with the link given here in the poster, meditation jul2021.eventbrite.sg. Priority will be given to BF members for these registrations. On the 18th of July, the Indonesian Buddhist community is pleased to invite Bante Jayamedo Thera, who will be speaking on observing Sila in the business setting. So the talk will be available online via Zoom or YouTube. And there is no registration required, so everyone is welcome to dial into the link. To keep you active, we also have a very happy workout. So this is scheduled on every Saturday, starting from 3rd of July to 25th of September, located at BF West Center, and you can join us either on site or via Zoom online at 10:30 in the morning. So what would be even a better way to start your weekend other than joining us in this happy workout? All right, so last but not least is also the talk for today. That is a very important by Sister Sylvia. And the topic is about, am I a Kalyanamitta? Now, before I start to hand over the stage to Sister Sylvia, maybe I'll just read a short bio for Sister Sylvia. I think a lot of us who have attended her talk have already known Sister Sylvia, but for those who are new, allow me to introduce you to Sister Sylvia, who has dedicated herself to the study and practice of the Buddha's teachings since the year of 1992. She holds the Bachelor of Arts in the Buddhist Studies from the Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka. And she was also a lecturer with her alma mater. She has a master's in the International Public Policy from the Johns Hopkins Schools of Advanced Studies, and since 2001, she has been a regular speaker on the Buddhist doctrines and their practical applications at local and regional Buddhist organizations. In the year 2013, she published her first book titled Between the Lines, An Analytical Appreciation of the Buddha's Life. She is now working on another book titled Towards the Light, the Buddha's Guide to Heavenly Rebirth. Sister Sylvia, may I invite you to guide us in the morning meditation before we start the Dharma talk. Thank you, Sister.
It will have to be a short meditation now. Shall we all sit quietly, relax, sit comfortably. It's not going to be a meditation session. It will be just a short time, short moment to calm the mind down, settle it, kind of prepare the mind for a rigorous Dharma talk. So I invite everyone to take 3 deep breaths. Relax. Take 3 deep breaths and leave your worries, your agitation, your dosa, loba dosa, your defilements. Leave it at the door, outside in the world. Just leave the defilements outside at the door. Breathe in deep and wish yourself well. May I be well and happy. And as you breathe out, wish the world well. May the world be well and happy. You must believe in it. Believe that with every life force, the world within and the world without is happy. So as you feel this quiet joy within, as you feel it, you wish that your loved ones and the world too will have a chance to experience this peace, this joy. In the breath that you take, this life-giving breath that you have, don't waste it to hurt others. As long as life cruises through you, as the breath cruises through you, make use of this life to serve, to give, to help, to support each other. When the Buddha told his monks, the world's first 60 arahants, when the Buddha told the monks to go out and teach the Dharma, he said, do it in support of others so that you can help another in their interests, in their welfare, in their happiness. As Buddhists, students of the Dharma, followers of the Buddha, we should dedicate this life in the interests, in the welfare, in the happiness of others. It should not be just about ourselves. This life is not meaningful if it's just about ourselves. So as you reflect on these words, reflect on the solemnity, reflect that if we are walking in the footsteps of the Buddha, then we must dedicate this life to helping others. Cultivation, it's cultivating both wisdom and sila, morality, goodness, kindliness, wholesomeness, skillfulness. So we live our life skillfully, wholesomely. Only when we do so, are we honoring the Buddha and the Dharma? Spend a few minutes reflecting on the words. Remember, every breath that you take in and you breathe out, link it to skillfulness and kindliness. Then you can wish the world well. Now take 3 more deep breaths. And then come off the meditation. Give thanks first, huh? Give thanks. Thank you for our blessings in this life. We all ready? 起来了，起来了，不要睡了。Okay, am I a Kalyāṇamitta? You like my slides? I did this myself. I didn't want obvious pictures, so you will see rather not so obvious ones. Huh? Okay. Today's talk will cover the following points. The rationale. What is a Kalyāṇamitta? Why is it important? How to tell? And the most important one, the one where I invite audience participation is, am I a Kalyāṇamitta? So for those of you who are streaming online, you too can do your scoring and happily share with us the results. Okay, that's scoring. The last one is really a checklist. So I want all of you, as you listen to the talk, to get ready to do the tickings. This is not the typical talk on Kalyāṇamitta where I tell you what the Buddha said, and then we end there. This is one because it is framed like this. I want to explain why I frame the question this way. Am I a Kalyāṇamitta? Because in most cases, when you come for a talk on Kalyāṇamitta, you're likely to be told, what did the Buddha say? Why is it important? Yeah? And very often, when we look at this word, we think about other people being Kalyāṇamitta. Do I have Kalyāṇamitta with me? Am I surrounded by good people, good friends who can help me? Very rarely do we ask ourselves, are we one? And we're so happy judging the world. Have we even looked at ourselves, not to judge, but to at least assess? Use a more neutral word. Have we assessed whether we are one? And how do you know? The key takeaway today is, or rather the key takeaways, two key takeaways today. One, are you one? And two, how do you know? So if you go off saying, I am one, and I know so, lovely. I am not one, I will try to be. This will be it. You try, huh? Try, work hard. And it's important. This is very important. Okay, what is a Kalyanamitta? I think we all know intuitively that this is an extremely important concept. And very often, we say it is so important. Very often, you find people quoting this line. Ananda conversation with the Buddha, yeah? All this happy nodding of heads here. Ananda conversation with the Buddha, where Ananda enthusiastically said, oh, it's half a holy life. Sir, Kalyanamitta, half a holy life. Buddha said, no, entire holy life. So this conversation implies the value. It captures the values that the Buddha put on the concept of Kalyanamitta. And even for people who don't know Pali, this is what they know. Everybody happily quoted this word. So what exactly is this concept, right? The word Kalyana means wholesome, virtuous, noble. It's good. Any K word is good. Kalyana is good. Kusala is good. Okay? Mitta, normally the word used is Kalyanamitta. Mitta means friendship. Mitta means friend. So collectively, it means good, wholesome, noble friendship. I threw in the word Buddhist community because the word Kalyanamitta has a very specific spiritual element. Okay? It has that spiritual element. It's friendship that helps you on the spiritual path. Of course, you can have Kalyanamitta in your secular life. That is possible. I mean, we can explore that. But the first and foremost point is really Kalyanamitta as help for you, support for you on your Dharma journey, on your Dharma practice. This is why the Buddha say it's the whole of the holy, the entire holy life. You need friends to help you progress on your spiritual path. Okay? That's the idea. Now, you note the word I used. I stopped using the word Kalyanamitta, I said friends. Buddha had much to say about friends, okay? And you think about it, if you reflect for yourself, at the point in time when you left the warm embrace of your family and went into the world, i.e. you go to school. When you were young and you were at home, your entire influence was your parents, your siblings, your immediate environment within the family. But the day that you went out into the world, it may well be not school, it may well be that you ran out to play with your friends next door. That moment when you engage with people outside of your immediate blood environment, those friends that you got to know, from that moment onwards, there is another aspect. The world has another part of the world is now influencing you, right? And Buddha's point was they are decisive. It can be very decisive. In one sutta, he said, I do not see a single thing that gives rise to skillful qualities or makes unskillful quality decline like good friends. Kalyanamitta. When you have good friends, skillful qualities arise and unskillful qualities decline. Conversely, if you have bad friends, unskillful qualities will increase and skillful qualities decline. Buddha used the word, the translation here, skillful, unskillful, actually means kusala, akusala. So friends will cause you to either become a better person or worse. That's the kind of impact that you have. And he said, he's implying here that friends have a more powerful impact, influence on people than even family. I'm using family and friends as separate. Of course, your best friend could be in your family. We don't deny that. But even then, it is your friend that has the impact. Okay? In another sutta, he said, I do not see a single quality that is so very harmful as bad friends. So this, your one sentence that we know, right? The conversation with Ananda and Buddha is not the only one he talked about friends. There were many more. And I will show you. There were many more. Okay? And here he said, if people were to ask you, what is the vital condition for development of awakening factors? You should answer, good friends. I repeat here, this is important. Spiritual. You remember earlier on I said Kalyanamitta was actually specifically about friends helping you on the path. So this is what he said to his monks. Vital condition for development of awakening factors. In other words, in our mind, you have all kinds of mental states. Some wholesome, some not. In our practice, it is about cultivating wholesome, skillful mental states. Remember that, huh? In our practice, it's about cultivation, development of wholesome, skillful mental states. Friends will cause you to be successful in the cultivation or to be spectacularly a failure in the cultivation. Okay? And this is the full conversation. You see, earlier on I gave you half the conversation. Now I give you the full conversation. And in this one, the Buddha said, Ananda, Kalyāṇamitta is the entire holy life. Good companionship, good friendship, good companionship, good comradeship. When a bhikkhu has good friend, companion, and comrade, it is to be expected he will develop and cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path. The intent of Kalyāṇamitta originally was to help each other cultivate the mental states necessary for enlightenment. The Eightfold Path, mental states, they are mental states. Eightfold Path is a set of 8 mental states. It is necessary to cultivate those. Now, how does it work? You think about it. Amongst friends, we discuss Dharma. Your friends understand better, can help you to increase, improve on right understanding. Right thought. Our mind left alone on its own antiques will end up leaning towards akusala. With encouragement from your friends, you are reminded, don't take things too hard, learn to forgive, learn to embrace, learn to let go. Your friends can chuchok you to not spiral into bad thoughts, but to hold the line on good thoughts. You know that. Your friends can do that for you. You go and complain to your friend, "Ayya, my boss called me again. I really can't stand this man." Your friend say, "Hey, you Buddhist, right? Buddhist, right? Let go of loba, let go of dosa." Then if you are wise, you hold on to this friend. If you're not wise, you change your friend. Right? But if you hold on to this friend, your friend say, "Ayya, never mind lah, he's like that. It's okay, let it be." Then you struggle a bit, and then you regain wholesome equilibrium. Your friend did you a favor. That's a good friend. See that? And then sila, right? When it comes to that 3 sila, right? Right speech, right action, right livelihood. Who do you go to when you talk about changing job? Your friends. Of course, you may say, my parents, sure, I'm sure. But your friends is also not far behind. The odds are, you think about it, you share things with your friends that you may not share with your parents or your family. But the things that you share with your parents and your family, you share with your friends. So who is bigger? Who has more impact on you? The friends, right? So your sila part, you know. Your friend, you go and scold him. You sure will go and scold him. Your friend say, hey, hold back lah. Your friend run, you also run. You see what I'm saying? Meditation. You think about it. Right effort, right mindfulness, right meditation. If all your friends every day to you, 9 o'clock, let's all sit together and meditate. Wherever you are, you see the titi. You don't want to sit and meditate, also you feel bad. Okay? You don't want to do it, also you'll feel bad. But if you have friends who all your friends, right, you chose a bunch of friends who tell you, don't need to sit, tomorrow then sit. Then everybody postpone until tomorrow, right? Someone amongst you is not really a Kalyanamitta. You are egging each other to skip today's session. Not so good. So actually, you see, bearing this in mind, right, what you all should do, for those of you who struggle with meditation and all, you should get a group of friends, like-minded friends, who all recognize the importance of meditation, or sitting together 10 minutes, 15, 20, half an hour, whatever. You all recognize the importance of it. You form a Kalyāṇamitta meditation group. KMMG. Form yourself a KMMG. And every time once a week, someone must take the lead to remind everybody, time to sit. And then after that, you'll come together and 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Then you see everybody 20 minutes and you 5 minutes? Not so good, right? Tomorrow you'll try and sit a bit longer. Either that or you leave the group. Form another one. KMMG Junior. Or KMMGP. Kalyāṇamitta Meditation Group Panchan. Give allowance a discount, okay? For those of you who are very keen to know, I would strongly recommend you going through the sutta from Sigalowadda. Sigalowadda Sutta is very significant because he, the Buddha, actually devoted two-thirds of that sutta. The whole sutta is about leading a fulfilling, meaningful, happy lay life, the whole sutta. So for those of you who are interested in knowing what the Buddha advised about how to lead a good lay life, you go into the sutta, you read it cover to cover, because it's so long. It's a very long sutta. Specifically on friendship, almost two-thirds of the sutta, maybe 50% at least of that sutta was devoted to talking about friends. And in it, if you step back, if you read the sutta and you take one step back and you reflect on the significance of sutta, you will see this. You would actually see Buddha saying the friends that you choose will affect your character, your behavior, your character, the choices that you make, how you deal with the world, the views and attitude that you adopt, and so on and so forth. The sutta actually, you must take one step back lah. For those of you who are familiar with sutta, you might think and scratch your head and go, he got say like that meh? Yes. You take one step back, you reflect on what he taught, and you will find that he did say that. In this talk, I will go into one segment of it, just one short segment of it, okay, later. And you will also see that Buddha consistently make the point, having the right friends is a necessary condition for happiness. Meaning to say, You pick a friend that is foolish, as he would call it, balo. You associate with friends who are foolish, you will end up unhappy. Associate with friends who are wise, and you will be happy. You think about it. How much of your pain and unhappiness has to do with somebody making a snide remark at you, poking you, saying the wrong thing, hurting your feelings? How much of it? How often did that happen? If you say, it hardly ever happened, I don't remember it. Well, congratulations, you have good friends. Okay? If you say, no, not true, I'm generally quite happy, think about it. Maybe your friends are all Kalyanamitta. You had good friends. Okay? If you end up saying, no, I don't know why, but I'm always very unhappy. Every time I talk to my friend, I'm more unhappy. You have your answer. Not good ones. Foolish ones. Okay? Now, I told you I was going to take from the Buddha's teaching in Sigalowatta to explain this concept of Kalyanamitta or not, right? Kalyāṇamitta or friend from hell. Okay. There are various versions of a checklist in the sutta. There is the short version. Short version. And short version comes like this. 4 mental states only. You look at how he said it. This is, okay, to give you a backdrop to this sutta. This was a conversation between the Buddha and his cousin. Not cousin, kinsfolk. Not immediate cousin. It's a Sakyan, this guy. It's a kinsfolk. His name is Digajanu, but sometimes it's cast as Virgapadja. It's actually also Digajanu, long knee, suggesting that he probably was a tall man. Okay? So tall man, this guy went to the Buddha and said, Buddha, we are lay people. We enjoy life, the pleasures that life gives. How do we make sure that we can be happy in this life and the next? And then the Buddha, amongst many things that he said, this is one of them. He said, good friendship, Kalyāṇamitta, good friendship is when this individual that you have constant engagement with. The idea here, associates, converses, engages in discussion. Constant engagement. You always run with him in the same company. This guy that you meet so often and chit-chat with him so often, if he has these qualities, these 4 qualities, you are in luck. Okay? And the 4 qualities are Saddha, Sila, Chaga, Panya. Saddha, faith. Sila, morality. Chaga, generosity. Panya, wisdom. Okay? 4. Why? Because if your friends have these 4 qualities, you will then begin to act like him. You will be influenced. Your character starts to change. You start to become one with faith, one who act with restraint. When we talk about morality, this is a talk for another time, but I will just sum it up quickly. Morality is not just 5 precepts. Morality is acting with restraint, with regards, greed, anger, delusion. Acting with restraint, trying to calm down these mental states. You are a moral person not just because I am upholding 5 precepts, that's baseline. But it is that you do not let loba, dosa, moha, greed, anger, ill will, and delusion to overcome your mind. You never allow that to happen. As much as possible, you act with kindness, patience. If there is anger, you try and mitigate, calm it down, let it go. That kind of thing. You are a decent, good person. Anyone looking at you will call you, he's a good person. Instead of saying, he's a 5 preceptor. Okay? You will not be called the 5 preceptor. You are called a good person. That is morality. Generosity, you don't come tell me, I'm very generous because I every month give dana. That is one aspect of generosity. Generosity is mental. It's not just giving things, tangible things. It's also giving intangible things, meaning giving time, giving effort, coming to BF to serve, give effort, give time, give patience. Someone sit beside you and are you generous enough to listen with an open mind? If the person is frustrating, it means this person is intruding into your pleasure. You don't like the fellow because he is making you feel unpleasant. You know, you don't feel very good in the company. Can you give the person a bit of your time and listen for a while? Are you able to extend compassion and patience? Those are chaga also. So chaga is very hard. It is not simple. For those of you who think chaga is very simple, I every month also give dana. Yes. Have you forgiven the fellow you cannot stand? Were you so angry with someone that you never forgave him? If your answer is yes to either of the question, your chaga not enough. You couldn't let go, you couldn't forgive. You understand? So chaga is not easy. Panya wisdom, many of us will say, yeah, it's a bit hard. Yeah, it is a bit hard. But it's a bit hard because our instinct is more delusion. We won't go into that in details. So if you want to, I can at least explain to you that Panya wisdom will require you to let things be much of the time. Let things go, let things be. Okay? Incidentally, this thing on faith, saddha, right? In the Buddhist community, we will say faith is having faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, within the Buddhist community. Outside of this community, how would you then rate someone with faith? I will say, if someone is more spiritual than material. You know how the world can be very materialistic? One with saddha, faith, right, is someone who is not caught up with materialism, that there is a part in them that understand there are bigger issues in life than just making money, just getting that head start, be materially successful, buy the next condo or the next landed property. You know, all these are very materialistic. It's recognizing that we live and we die. That there is something beyond just this small, selfish, self-centered world. There's more than that. Okay? So that's how you can look at saddha. This is a short list. Now I give you the long list. And the long list, I said all these already. For those of you who are online watching and right here, you can start thinking, are you 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2 only? Got 3 or not? And 4. If you say, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, sweet. 4 upon 4. More to go. Okay? The long list, the lengthier list, it is in Sigalowada. So the 4 friends from hell cult from Sigalowada. Okay. The first one, I name, all the ones in red, I named them. It wasn't Buddha's words. Yeah, I must clarify. I gave them these names so that you can remember. Trust me, you will forget. But if you remember the red lines, the red words and the blue words, you will remember, okay? The first one is the taker. And what did the Buddha say? He will take your things. Your possessions end up theirs. Giving little, they expect a lot. They do their duty out of fear, associate for their own advantage. 对不对? Does it sound familiar? Okay, I want you all to scan your mind, and can you identify the taker in your life? You're so happy to say yes. How many takers you have, man? So, you scan your mind, but then before you scan, this talk is, am I a Kalyanamitta? So are you a taker? Okay, if you're not a taker, please take. Okay, next. The next one. NATO. NATO. No action, talk only. No action, talk only. When you can recognize that word, it tells the world that we are quite old. Because it's a word that our generation will use, right? Recognize a fake friend who's all talk on 4 grounds. Meaning to say, they will tell you. This means they are telling you, I'm hospitable in the past. Hospitable means I'm helpful. They will talk about how they had helped you in the past, how they have been supportive in the past, and how they will be supportive in the future. They are full of meaningless pleasantries. Have you eaten? How are you today? Then before you answer, they kind of gone off already. How are you today? Then move on, you know? So, meaningless pleasantry. Hey, I heard that you're not well. Then move on. Before you could explain how you were unwell, fella's not there anymore. Okay? Pleasantries. When you ask them to help you, now, can you come over now? I need you. Sorry, I got no car. Sorry, nobody looking after my child, can't come to you, See what I'm saying? So this kind is, they promise heaven and earth. Nobody promised hell, right? They promise heaven and earth and deliver nothing. So this is NATO. Are you like that? Have you ever made promises that you happily broke? Or should I say, have you always been making promises and never keeping them? If you are, jaga. Watch it, okay? You could be NATO. Taker and NATO are not the same. But of course, they could be the same person. He can, satu orang, single person, be NATO and taker. Alright, okay, I got some more for you. Buddha got 8. Next one, 3. Hypocritical sycophant. Do I have to explain to you what's a hypocritical, you know, right? Double-faced, not sincere, dishonest, sycophant. Meaning, they will tell you what you want to hear. You want to do something bad? They are there. You want to do something good? They are also there. They're quite easy one. Whatever you say, they say, okay. But behind you could be stabbing you. Okay? Buddha himself said, these are flatterer. Flatterer. So, one who takes from you, one who promises you heaven and earth, and one who praises you to your face. You are so beautiful. You are such a lovely person. You are invincible. And then behind you, he's none of the above. Okay? Last one. Partner in vice. You want to drink, frequent fares, gambling, roaming streets. And now, when I used to teach in class, sometimes the more actively, the more chatty classes will ask, why roaming street cannot? Then Singapore, the whole of Singapore roaming street at night, how? Or frequenting fair, cannot. Cannot go SSO. Cannot go watch movie. Why? Okay, let me explain. This happened 2,500 years ago. It's a different time. In those days, in fact, up until the early part of the 20th century, up until the 20th century, street lights were not common at all. In other words, the moment the sun had set, people of those days, if they have family, they go home and they stay there where it is safe. If you come out and roam and wander around, either it means you're not close to your family, you don't look after them. It actually implies that. It implies that you don't look after your family, you left them alone to their own devices while you go out and play. And you will end up meeting friends who were like that, irresponsible, incorrigible, out there to have a good time. And having a good time would often mean causing problems for others. Those are the early days. These days, when people roam out in the streets at night, they are not going there to cause trouble for other people. The world is now very different, okay? Frequency festivals, the whole idea here is really not being responsible, not being there for your family, not looking out for them. Now, if you look at your own experience, the people around you today, what would you say if a father, someone who is married, have children, nighttime don't come home one? He goes out, he goes drinking with his friend, maybe not drinking, just sit at the kopitiam, drink kopi, not drinking liquor, not Guinness stout, just drinking coffee the whole night, yakking. What would you say about such a person? You also say not so good, leh? Right? You will expect the father or the mother, a family person, to go home. You will expect that. Maybe one day out a week, that's fine, but this is every day, every night. And then you say, frequenting fair is not okay, what? This is every night. Every night he go SSO. Okay, maybe not SSO. Maybe not SSO, right? Every night he's in a Simpopo bar. Every night enjoying himself out there. What would you say? You say, okay? Or you say, that's not right. Something is off. So this is the idea. If you have a friend who calls you out every night to go play outside, what would you say? I leave it to you, Lord. Buddha said cannot. It's called partner in vice. Okay? So if you had taken any of these four, you are considered not a Kalyanamitta. If you had taken any of these four, you're not a Kalyāṇamitta. Okay? Now, can you all see the words? I should use a different font. Can you see it? Yes, next time I'll use a different font because I can't see it. Can you all see it? It's a guardian angel, okay? Tough. Okay, never mind the English, the details you can see. For Kalyāṇamitta, a guardian angel, he helps, he guards you when you're negligent, guard your property when you're negligent, keeping you safe in time of danger. If something needs to be done, he comes with overwhelming support. That's the idea. So a Kalyanamitta, number one, must be proactive, must be willing to stand up, to be counted, and to help. This is when you need help. And you didn't ask. He comes. He/she/it. The dog. Dog cannot be Kalyanamitta, meh? Maybe not cat, but dog. After that, all the cat lovers will write a long list and scold. Okay. They will come and be helpful, okay? The second one is a dependable confidant. A dependable confidant. Meaning, you see how he said it? Bad days, good days, he's not a fair weather friend. Not a fair weather friend. Good day, bad day, he is there. They will tell you secret. They keep your secret. They don't abandon you. They help you. They give their life for you. So the idea here, I'm more careful. You see, you can see how if you are trying to remember the things, you will forget. Because the quality seems to a bit blend into each other. I'm picking out the key elements to help you remember. So if a friend tells you secrets, it means you are trusted. Someone out there trusts you. And you also trust the friend. That's why you will tell your friends that person's secrets. So there is trust in this relationship. That's the key element. And if you had trusted someone rightly, this person will take the bullet for you. If you had trusted wrongly, your secret will be on social media. That's all. The cost is loss of reputation. Okay? Reputational loss. Okay. Third, a counselor, a wise counselor. Meaning, now this is the part, you're a good friend means you must be wise. Yes? Remember the short list says panya. The shorter list earlier. The long knee list has 4 qualities. Faith, morality, generosity, wisdom. So this is the wisdom part that comes in. You will see that the 4 qualities run through all of them. Being there for you when you need help, being supportive, guarding you when you are negligent. These are expression of generosity and a sila, kindness. This is the one that talks about wisdom, where he will advise you, don't engage in akusala. You want to go and beat up somebody, he say, hold the line, don't do it. Don't go and take on this. Support you when you're doing good. So you say, I want to do dana. He says, I chong with you. Let's go to BF to help. He's also there. You came at 6 o'clock, he was there at 5:30. Like that, huh? It's very early, friends. They teach you what you do not know, meaning to say, they will help level you up. Okay? Leveling you up. Sharing knowledge with you. If you are in school, you don't understand how to solve a problem, he teach you what you do not know. He will help to level you up. And the next one is, explaining the path to heaven means helping you understand how to be a good person. And because you are a good person, you will be happier. The idea of heaven is not death per se. That's part of the equation. But it is also about in daily life, how do you lead a life where you feel you're happy here? And when the life ends, you're going to miss it. As opposed to hell, where you are so in distress, when life ends, you are grateful. You see the difference? So a good, wise counselor, a friend, he must help you to have a better life, a happier life. I want you to be aware of this, because later on you're going to ask yourself, what kind of a friend you are? Through associating with you, is somebody's life worse off? This is what it is. Finally, loyal support, okay? They don't delight when you are jalat. When you are in misfortune, jalan, eat 6. When you are in a state where things are not going well for you, your friend is not going to be the one sitting down there going, I told you, man. I told you, I told you, don't want to listen. He will not. Okay, any friend who say, I told you so, right? Their friend got problem, okay? A group friend is not sitting down there saying, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. He's not doing that. He's going to say, oh dear. Okay, let's see how we can fix this. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Delighting in someone's misfortune, even quietly in the mind. Right? I told him he don't want to listen. Even delighting quietly is not acceptable. Delight in speech, action, and thought, not correct, okay? And when someone else goes, I told you he's silly, your friend will say, don't say that about him. He made a mistake. We'll just fix it. See what I'm saying? There's a difference between a good friend. Actually, when you read this, it's a no-brainer, right? You read it and go, Buddha correct. The point is Buddha was right, and he's 2,500 years. It's a long time ago. Whatever that he taught is still relevant today. Friendship, good friendship, is akaliko, timeless. Good friendship, what goes in as measure of a good friend, is timeless. What applies 2,500 years ago still applies today. Buddha is good psychologist, huh? Yeah. He's good at everything. So, now comes the checklist. Okay? There are 10 questions, I think. 10 questions. But you must follow, okay, you must count, carefully count, okay? I will show you what I mean. If you say you made a friend with no agenda, my intentions are pure, I have no agenda, then you plus 1. Get it? Everybody get it? It's quite simple, okay? My intentions when I make a friend are pure, I have no agenda. So, to that individual, you are a Kalyāṇamitta plus 1. Wait. But I'm not above making use of my connection. If that's the case, minus 1. It's not easy, huh? Okay, I repeat, huh? It becomes 0. Exactly. Then someone will say, but Sister Sylvia, when I make the friend that time, I don't have intention, so plus 1. But then over time, sometimes he can be helpful, ma. Is that wrong? Not right or wrong. Meaning at that point, at that moment, you minus 1. At that moment when you say, I think this friend can help, minus 1. At that moment, you're not Kalyanamitta, ma. You're out to fleece your friend, what? Okay, next. I am generous and giving. Remember chaga, right? Buddha said chaga, you plus 1. But I expect reciprocity. I give you, you never give me back one. Now, if your friend wants to give you back, because he's Kalyanamitta, he wants to give you back, and you don't expect anything, it's okay, you stay as plus 1. The point here, I said, I do expect reciprocity means in your manner of handling relationship, there is a part in you that says, 50-50 lah, what's your problem? Reciprocity. What I give, I expect something back. If you have no expectations with friends, you stay as plus 1, okay? Now for those of you who say, I never expect reciprocity, but he's sometimes too much, okay, minus half. Because there is a part in you that feels entitled. This is the point about your sense of entitlement. That is why it is hard. This is why I wanted this topic to be, am I a Kalyanamitta? You better think of your mind carefully. Think of the content in your mind. Okay? Everyone here still on the positive side, huh? Okay. Next, I treat my friends fairly, with respect and consideration. I expect my friends to put up with me for who I am. Warts and all. Faults, welts and all. Why is this like that? You think about it, right? If you think about it, in our relationship with people, we sometimes can be quite presumptuous. The second point there is about presumption. If you say you treat your friend with respect and consideration, then you will never be late for your appointment because you expect them to wait for you. So for those of you who are serial later, right? Serial later, you must -1. But it's not just about late. It's about things. I talk like that one, ma. This is how I talk. They don't like it, they don't be friends. Then you got no friends. If you treat people with respect and consideration, words that hurt and cause people pain will not come out here, you see. It shouldn't come out. And if it does come out for whatever reason, can you apologize? Are you able to redress the moment? Your one crazy moment, are you able to, in Cantonese, 補返數? Cantonese, for Eileen's benefit, you, how do you 補返數 is what? Make amends. Are you able to make amends? Are you able to apologize and so on? So, for those who say that I treat all my friends fairly with respect and consideration, is your empathy strong? Don't do unto others what you don't want others to do unto you. That is the idea here, okay? Are you all still positive? Better be. I watch out for my friends. I stand by them through thick and thin. Then you'll be thinking, how is that a minus? I show you. Unless it is inconvenient. Many a time, we can be there for people until our own interest comes in. I don't mind looking out for my friends' children, but they're very noisy. Can they take them home after half an hour? You know what I'm saying? I can be helpful, but my interest, my pleasure, my delight makes me less generous than I would like. Say tonight your favorite, tonight football, World Cup final. Then somebody end up in hospital, ask you to come. Then you go, like that how? It's okay, today can tape. We live in an age where you cannot tape. We started out in an age where you can't tape, right? You cannot tape the program. But I just want you to be very clear, just reflect. It is not so easy. It's really not so straightforward, okay? I will also look after their loved ones, unless it's inconvenient. Do you see that? Are you all still in a positive territory? Oh, Eileen, I like you so much. You're my friend, okay? You're my friend. Friends confide in me. If there were no friends, if no one had ever confided in you, right? This one you put 0, okay? Cannot put 1. But I'm bad at keeping secret. Any of you have this problem? Friends confide in me, but I'm bad at keeping secret. So whatever is confided leaks. I enjoy a good gossip. So either or is a minus. I very keep face already. I don't make -2. If your friends confide in you, that is your friend's perception of you. What you do with what has been confided in you is your choice. So if you happily take what is confided and trade it around, you got gossip, I also got one, let's trade. Then it's a minus. So it negates, it cancels out, you get 0. Friends come to me for solace and advice. Yes? Everybody has that? Okay, sure. But I don't contradict my friends. Then you say, what's the problem? If your friend says something negative, you also don't contradict, ma? You see what I'm saying? I go along with them even if it's unhealthy. Like, okay, how often you have someone coming to you and lament about their upset fate and that they should stand up for themselves and fight the battle, and you go, Tio. Correct. And even teach them what to say. You say like that, you say like that. Then you do like that, then you burn like that. You say like this. Yeah. You're so helpful. You wrote a script. -1. Your friend is going to pick a fight and you say, yes, let's go. He says, I pick up a knife. You say, I take up 2. 0, 0, okay? No, minus either or -1. If you take either, it's -1. Because if I make it -2, everybody is into negative territory. Okay? I live by the Dharma as much as I can, and I share what I can with friends. Do you all do that? Yes. I'm sure a lot of you say yes. I try to convert friends to Buddhism, okay? But it's in blue. It's not in red. I said, you -1 if there is a presence of LDM. What's LDM? Loba, dosa, moha. Meaning in you, there is a desire for notching one up for the Buddha. Conversion exercise, ma? So let's snatch one for the Buddha. Take one for the team. That's loba. Why you don't listen to me? That's dosa. I'm doing all this for Dharma. That's moha. So either of this, loba, dosa, moha, you -1. Buddha asked you to go and convert, is it? Buddha never asked you to convert. You share. You share your understanding. But it actually, next time I do this, I will put in one more line because I want to look smart. Because sometimes people share because they want to look good. I'm so clever, I'm sharing. I'm now teaching you, okay? You all learn, I'm teaching you. That is loba, dosa, moha, okay? Sharing is when, this is where it gets a bit trickier. It's okay to share, but not unsolicited. Your friend didn't ask you to share. You happily ramble on and on about how much you know. You might end up putting people off the Dharma. So we don't want to do that. Share only when you are asked. Okay? Or unless you conduct a course that everyone who comes would like you to share. Then you can share. Okay. I regularly engage in wholesome services, and I encourage my friends to join me. This one is very specific. If someone else wants to do the good work, if they want to do service somewhere else, then you say, don't want lah. That place no good one. You come with me to here. That +1 -1, 0. When people want to do dana, service, be helpful, Your job is to encourage the generosity and don't be territorial. So if you are territorial, that's not good. That is a minus, okay? It's just not good. I have no regrets in how I handled friends because I treat them exactly how I want to be treated. So the key element here is empathy. The issue here is regret. If you look at your relationship with people in the past, long past, you scan your mind back, were there any relationship which had given you regrets in how you handle that friendship? Okay? If you say, I have regret with regards to that friendship, then on that score, it is a minus. So, going through the list, you can see it tactically or strategically. Tactically means with everybody, I have no problem keeping secret except this one. So tactically, there's one individual out there whom you are not a Kalyāṇamitta to. You understand? Basically, you are a decent person, and any association with you will help. But with regards to one individual, you're not a Kalyāṇamitta. Okay? Now comes the big one. Those were the fun part. I always have a bottom line. This is the bottom line one. Huh? And it comes as A, B, and C. Before you tick anything, you must finish it first. Okay? Has being friends with you helps someone become more kusala, a better person. Kalyanamitta, the whole idea here is that association is beneficial in somebody's interest, to somebody's welfare, for his happiness. That's the idea here, okay? Interest, welfare, happiness. Being friends with you, me being friends with somebody, has it made that person happier, better, kinder, nicer, blah, 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 blah? You understand, everything wholesome. Or, like that, being friends with you make another person more material. He started off as sweet and innocent. But after your influence, she or he has become calculating and smarter, cleverer, more worldly. Jialat. All these words are not supposed to be wholesome, become wholesome, become positive. More materialistic, more able to stand up for your rights, and so on and so forth. More selfish. So I'm very careful. Selfish, materialistic, calculating, competitive, agitated. Confused is the opposite of wise. Wisdom. One evidence of wisdom. One byproduct, okay? One byproduct of wisdom is clarity. With wisdom, someone become sure and confident. There is that expression. But if you become more confused, it is an indication of lack of clarity, isn't it? If you're confused, you lack clarity. For those of you who have been practicing the Dharma, have you grown in confidence, i.e. clarity, or reduced in confidence? Have you gone more confused about what you're supposed to do? If you say, I'm not so sure anymore, maybe there is something minusing from your understanding. Okay? It's not good or bad. It may actually be a good thing that you're more confused. It may be. But in this case, you must see it as a context. And the context is akusala, selfish, calculating, less sure about doing the right thing. Confused has to do with confused over should I or should I not do it? Will it make me better? And the odds are it's going to make you worse. Okay? Or this. A, B, C, D. Or a mix of both. Some improve, some decline, or no effect. Your carbon footprint is so mild that you touch no one, touch nothing, touch nobody. Okay? So A, B, C, or D? Are you A, B, C, or D? Because the score here is like that. If it's A, yours is a plus 10. If it's a B, yours is a minus 10. C or D, 0. C or D, a little bit here, little bit there, you cancel each other out. No count. I was debating whether to give you 5 points. There I said 0 lah. No impact, what? Okay. Are you ready? I invite those streaming online to share with us your results. Okay, the score. If your score is 16 to 20, I call you oxygen. Life-giving force. Necessary to life. Okay? If you are 10 to 50, I call you nitrogen. There's a lot of you out there. 78%, right? Something like that. Okay, no bio student, no chemistry student. Basically, there's a lot of you, but generally we don't associate you as life-giving, but there's a lot. It's good. Okay, you are good. 0 to 9, you're carbon dioxide. You're just taking up all my oxygen. You're trying. It's not very life-giving. I don't feel very fulfilled when you're around. I feel hot and bothered. And after a while, you are just bad smell. Right? Okay? Then you'll be wondering, what's minus then? Carbon monoxide, you are deadly. Associating with you is deadly. You will die. Okay? Okay. I didn't want the more traditional way of capturing something. I think this will help you remember better. So, the next time people ask you, are you oxygen or carbon monoxide? You must know. You know you attended this talk. Okay. Now, one last slide. All this while, I've been saying, am I a Kalyanamitta? What are the indicators? How do I know, etc. But this one is a twist. This is a cute little twist. I tell you why. Buddha said, this is Buddha said, the bad person chooses friends and companions who lack faith, whose conduct is marked by an absence of hiri ottappa, shame and dread, who have no knowledge of spiritual teachings, who are lazy and unmindful, devoid of wisdom. Because of that, the manner that he thinks about things and he acts, it will be to his own harm, harm of others, harm of both. So, consequence of his choices is he will cause harm and hurt. And because of that, he will experience pain. The point I want to highlight to you is the friends that you choose sometimes reflects who you are. If I'm not a nice person, I gravitate towards people who are not nice, who lack moral values, who lack shame and dread, who are lazy, and so on and so on. So this is where the English proverb, birds of a feather flock together. In other words, don't sit here and say, oh, my friend's so bad. How did they end up being your friends in the first place? The Buddha says, sometimes it's your choice and it reflects who you are. Okay? Conversely, the good person will choose those with faith, exhibit a sense of shame, dread, who are learned in the Dharma, energetic in cultivation of the mind, mindful, possessed of wisdom. When he makes such friends, he looks upon them as mentor and guides. So the good person absorbs the values of the friends, the good values of his good friends, and grow. The bad person comply with the vices of his bad friends and degenerate. That's the idea here, okay? And as he grows, as he cultivates these mental states, note the mental states. Saddha, hiri ottappa, sota, virya, sati, panya. Okay, I translate them all into Pali for you. For those of you who know Pali. These are critical, these are important mental states for spiritual growth. Faith, saddha. Hiri ottappa. Hiri ottappa means you have a conscience and you are mindful of social laws and norms. You're mindful of that. These two must go together. They are not divorced. There is a sense of shame, conscience. Conscience is hiri. Ottappa is shame. They are not the same. Hiri, if you live alone, hiri, you will only mostly experience hiri if you live alone. Because whether you do something, it's when you have done something, do you regret the action? If you regret the action, what pokes you is hiri, your conscience within. So hiri is something that is from within. Shame. Would you have shame if there is no world around you? You won't, right? I mean, who is blaming you? So the idea of shame is something from outside, okay? That people will judge you. That karma, you have karma. Okay, karma is your own, it's not judged, but the idea here is still you believe that there is something outside of you that can affect you. So people's opinion affects you. Your parents' views affect you. The law of the state affects you. Right? If you're living alone, let me just ask you this, COVID time. If you're living alone in your room, you put on a mask? No, right? You don't. You wander around your house, you put on a mask? You also don't. No one's judging you in a house. But the moment you go outside, you are mindful that people are staring at you, no? If you don't put on a mask, aren't you ashamed? You see what I'm saying? So what caused you to put on the mask is the judgment of the world. Some will say, oh, no, it's my own duty. Then at home, at home you also got family members around you, ma. Nobody put on mask in the house unless you're sick. So you don't feel judged per se. Then you say, but there's no law. Precisely my point. The law is something outside. It is the law. It is the stares. It is the pointing fingers of others. It's the social media that causes you to behave in a certain way. So that one is ottappa. You see that? That's the shame, the ottappa. The dread, translated as dread. It's the restrictions that you perceive external of yourself. Whereas the other one is the restriction within. You yourself feel bad. You feel bad when you say something wrong. or you hurt someone. So that one is hiri. A practitioner, seriously keen on spiritual development, must have this. Saddha, hiri otapa. Some idea, or rather not some, clear idea of the teaching, Dharma, who are energetic and careful, okay? And collectively build wisdom. So here the Buddha is saying, you're a good person, you gravitate towards the ones who display these qualities. If you are not a good person, you will lean the other way. But the world is not so straightforward, right? All of us, a mix of both. So because we are a mix of both, ours is not this way or that way, we must learn to lean in the positive, wholesome, skillful way, so that we end up becoming good people and we will gravitate towards good people. Get it? Okay. Okay, question. Should we? I think we'll take the questions first. Questions?
Thank you, sister, for the very engaging and insightful talk. I guess for most of us, right, who are married, right, the closest person to us will be our spouse. So I guess like to choose a good spouse would therefore be very important. But when people are young, you know, they are sort of
Haven't choose spouse yet.
yeah, when they are like just dating, right, all those like romantic feelings might dilute the mind, and that could actually cause sort of like a hindrance of how to actually choose a good Kalyanamitta for life. Do you have any advice for young people?
You refer to an earlier slide that says you choose the wrong fellow, you're going to be very upset, you're going to be very tragically unhappy. My advice, you know, wiser, smarter people before me have been advising, have been giving a lot of advice. And advice can only go so far, okay? Advice can only go so far. What I will share with you what I tell my little ones at home, my nieces and all. I always tell them that when you pick someone to fall in love with, pick someone to fall in love with. The words don't click already, but never mind. Fall means you boom, right? But here I'm advising them to pick wisely. Because not everything is all about kaboom, right? Not fall in love. In most cases, you kind of drift towards love. You kind of drift towards closeness. I told my nieces, I said, when you pick, make sure that the person is generous. Generosity. Then I went on to explain, generosity is not just about buying you gifts. Generosity, you distill from knowing that the person is not self-centered, not selfish, self-centered, but able to spare a thought for the people around them. So considerate, respectful, kind. I stress to them that the moral qualities, the goodness, the kindness of the person really matters more than some of the other attributes that the world looks for, such as good looks, healthy bank account. What else do people look at? What do people look at? Seriously. They look at looks, right? Glib. Sometimes people get very entertained by glib tongue. The fellow talks very well. You see, these attributes draws. Subconsciously they draw. And the reason why they draw, I'll give it, science can explain why certain things draw. Good looks, for instance, it has to do with fertility. Okay, before you all, yes, good looks. Basically, the better looking a species, the more it reflects good health. And good health is a critical element of fertility. So even though you're not aware of it, your mind gets drawn towards fertility. Young people, already not fertility. Surely older people not looking for fertility. Okay, then why that wealth, the health, a good job, the idea of good job, stable job, able to earn well, why does that matter? Today it matters. Not survival. Today it matters. You want to, it's also about providing for your descendants. In the old days, it's the muscles that matter. If it's a man, if you have muscle, you're rippling muscles, the women are drawn to you because in the old days, he has to fight the tiger, you see. He needs to be able to beat off the invaders, the predators. So in the old days, and some of us haven't kind of transcend to the new life yet. We're still in the old life. In the old days, one who is tall and rippling with muscles and demonstrating strength, he will draw the chicks. And then the man will be drawn towards the pretty, shapely woman because, again, it's fertility, right? These are old days. Today, the guy who is rippling with muscles may not be as attractive anymore. Because the woman will always go towards provider. So rippling with muscles may or may not be a provider these days, ma. How often in Singapore you need him to hunt down the python? Wrestle with that I don't know, otters? No, you don't need these guys. You need him to bring in the money. And in Singapore context, there are not a lot of jobs that require rippling muscles, right? So the nerdy ones now got a chance. The guy who is pale and because he's bespectacled, right? Bespectacled, not too thick, otherwise cannot see where he's going, but thin glasses are nice. Very good, because it means he has a steady job. And even better, he wears a tie. It means what? He's doing well, But for happiness, you see, I read this book that says, your genes don't care about your happiness. Genes. Your genetic code doesn't care about your happiness. It only wants you to procreate and lead to the next generation. That's why you are drawn towards the rippling muscles, the nice looks, the fat bank account. That's why you're drawn to it, because genetically you're being prompted in that direction. You must exercise judgment. Judgment is what will assure your happiness. And what will give you happiness is being with someone who is considerate and a good man or woman. A good, wholesome, skillful, wise person is the one who will give you happiness. So, if you ask me, I can only share with you what I told my little ones. I told them, you go for people who are kind and generous. How do you know they are kind? You must wait for someone to fall, then they go help them kind, right? No, you look at generosity, because that's what can show. When you sit down to eat, does he chiong first? If the food comes, is he number one there? If he's number one there, he's obviously not chaga, right? Graciousness and chaga, what would happen? He'll say, hey, please, you all help yourself first, please, go ahead. Agree? When the buffet spread starts, he or she is not number one on the line. Others go ahead. They hang back. It's okay. Don't worry about that. You all take your time. Enjoy it. You want to judge? You want to see? Go eat with them. It shows. And don't eat just start point all the way to the end. Last piece there, who is the one who chong for it? Then someone will say, yeah, but then that last piece is wasted. No, he wait until no one wants it, then he takes or she takes. Look for things, indicators, clear indicators. That he opens the door for you, you say, oh, he's a gentleman. If that's all he does, you are in trouble. it doesn't cost a lot to open the door to you, for you. It will cost a lot more when interests clash and collide. That's when you can see whether the fellow is generous or not. Okay? Yes.
Any from the floor?
Anyone else?
Anyone else? If not, I'll go to the questions online. What happens if there's someone who is very kind but not wise? How?
Kind in what way and wise in what way? You see, I know you all happily chuckle here because you all can imagine how it can happen, right? When a person is genuinely kind, there is some wisdom. When the person is really wise, kindness is a given. There is no such thing as wise but not kind, or kind but not wise. Your wisdom based on what? If you are not wise, but you are kind, then I will definitely be able to spot moments when you're not kind. Meaning your kindness is conditional, seasonal, and possibly conditional upon whom he is with. The kindness is a conditional factor, not an automatic instinct. When a person is naturally kind, there has to be some measure of wisdom. Because there's a part in him that says, hurting people is not right. That is wisdom. Causing pain, hurting another, no matter how not defensible, is not right. That in itself is a measure of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Unless you can cite me one specific example of what it means by having no wisdom but kind. You've got to give me one example. And it must be a kindness that is unconditional, meaning with everyone, the kindness is there. If it's seasonal, conditional is your national average. It's like everyone else. A bit of this, a bit of that, and you come up with a plate of bland food, which is most national average person. You see, I like to tease us saying that we are all national average. You can have days when you are above national average, meaning you're kinder than usual, more giving than usual. And there are days where you're below national average, where you're more calculating than usual, when you are more self-serving and self-centered than usual. That can be seasonal, you know. Or it can be people-related. With my mother, I am absolutely giving. With my neighbor, I'm absolutely taking. Can be, it's depending on individual, right? It all depends. But I will stress this. Truly kind will sit on some degree of wisdom, and a wise person will be kind. Okay?
Next question is, what if the guy is only generous to his girlfriend, but stingy to others?
Then he is not generous. Therefore, it is good to go out and eat with him. If you say that, oh, he's always paying for dinner, that's not the point. He earns more than you. You want to show off, he will pay. Ask him to bring others out. When other people are out there and everyone, you don't have to pay for the food. You just eat together. Okay? And especially with the plate that he particularly like, this is where you can tell. Because our taste buds, they are very insistent, very strong. So if you have a lot of emphasis on taste buds, eating, desires, delight, and you value that significantly, when you eat with other people, your generosity, that's where it will shrivel up. Your favorite food staring at you in the face, everybody chomp. Then there's a fuming. There is this audible humming going on in the background, like that. Yeah. Whereas if you see, he's very relaxed, very giving. It's okay. Help yourself, don't worry about that. Then the generosity is there. But the other one, which you should also be aware of, is really on a bad day. Everyone is nice, friendly, giving, metta, left, right, center on a good day. Look at him on his bad day, or her. Look at her on a bad day. On a bad day, come home from go for your meeting, and you have a date with him or her, and then he come, and then all the time he talks about his problem at work, She talks about all the bad fellas around her. No. You can be sure this person, I will tell my niece, buay sai chap. If a person comes to you and spend all the time talking about how the world has wronged him or her, you tell me, 你不闲咩? And this is before marriage. After marriage, you will get texts the whole day about how the world has wronged him. So anyone who spends a lot of time focusing on negativity, this person has a problem. This is your balo, you're foolish. A wise person is more likely to focus on positivity, positive side, not the negative side. Meaning to say, I get scolded, so and so gets scolded. But the person, the good person will go off saying, what can I learn from this? It's okay lah, it's a bad day. And I can remember all these wonderful times that he has done something nice for me. So okay, overlook, doesn't matter. It can be worse. Something like that. So they will focus on the positive. Whereas the other one is going to, hello, like that one, every day also scold, blah, blah, blah. Don't have many words to scold, but you know what I mean. So complain. They in complain, they out complain. Bus come late, complain. Bus come on time, complain. Those kind you have to be very careful. And over time, you will see. For sure you will see. I can tell you one thing. Someone who is selfish, right? They cannot hide that part of them for long. Cannot. If you all dated for 3 years, then get married, then say, oh, he changed. Seriously? You machuta stem all the 3 years. Did you not see? Or did you make excuses all the way? Okay, sorry. I get carried away talking about relationship. So much to say, right? Yeah. Okay. Any more
from the floor before I go to the last two online?
Oh, not many questions today.
Okay. Someone asked, can a dog be one's Kalyāṇamitta?
Seriously, you also want to know? Your dog knows Eightfold Path or not? Your dog don't know what Eightfold Path, right? You can... The dog is not likely to be a Kalyanamitta. But in the sense of a spiritual companion. But you can observe from being with your dog, you can observe how your mind stays wholesome, engaging this being who is unquestioningly loyal. And he's clearly a confidant because he doesn't repeat your secrets. And he will take that bullet for you, right? He doesn't know better. So in your mind, you can end up perceiving that the dog meets the criteria of Kalyāṇamitta. Right? It's always there for you. He's your guardian angel. He is loyal support. He is your confidant. He meets the criteria. But specifically on helping you on your spiritual path, no lah. But he doesn't know Eightfold Path, ma. Okay.
Great answer. Last question from the online community is it very important that a couple must have same interests such as sports, food, religion, etc.?
Important for what?
I guess to be happy or to progress on the path, I think.
I think, again, I will put it this way. You look at how the Buddha talked about Kalyanamitta. And he said, the short list, I'm referring to the short list. And he said, someone having saddha, faith, sila, morality, chaga, generosity, and panya, wisdom, right? This, I will take that as a guide. He didn't say shared interests, sports together, eat together, and all those things. He talked about mental states being aligned. So I do think that you will find the best companionship. In a spouse, you'll find the best companionship when that individual is aligned with you on shared values. Saddha and morality, sila, are shared values. So is chaga. But chaga has an expression there. Chaga is always in association with another. So there is an expression there. And panya, wisdom, is understanding, again, shared values and understanding. Insights, understanding, values, and expression of it. That's panya. So, you will be happiest with someone who is aligned to you on the path together and being wholesome and good together and coming together to serve the community and so on and so forth, helping others, so that he or she shares your agenda, understands where you're coming from, and you feel double the joy. Because you're together, you're double the joy. He's doing well, she's doing well, she understands, he understands. You will mutually help each other in the understanding and the practice. Yeah. If you are looking at something more superficial, like we are both golfers and we enjoy it, it can help. So these are mundane things, right? We both love cars. Okay, help. Every Saturday can go see car. New release from Toyota. Happy, happy. But can you now, all of you can see, right? There's something a bit superficial there. Then what happened? COVID, no more showroom. Everything shut down. Wow, for 4 Saturday, just stare at each other at school. You know what I'm saying? So any activity undertaken together that causes the values and your brain wiring to shift wholesomely will anchor that relationship. It will strengthen the relationship. But if it's something quite superficial, it helps while the mutual interest is there. Then when the interest has faded, it will also fade. There is this sutta that the Buddha delivered to this old couple. You all must know this. Listen to my talk show have, right? Nakula Pitu and Nakula husband and wife, like 5-6 decades of being together, now in the end stage of their life, still so loving, ran into the Buddha fortuitously and then asked the Buddha how to reset button and come back together again, Buddha. So they want to have another life together. And Buddha said, if you can align your mental states, what I said earlier, saddha, faith, sila, morality, chaga, and panya, you can align that together, you come back together. Same. So you come back together. Otherwise, you will drift in different direction. That the part I add in one. The drifting in different direction because of misalignment, this one I add in. Okay? That's it?
Yes, and the person who asked about being kind but not wise just added an example. Example of not wise is keep going out at night to have fun until 2 a.m. and then likes to drink alcohol. But the person is a generous person.
Complications now. This kind, and I go back to my original position, which says if the person lacks wisdom, meaning there will be the indulgence, the pleasure-seeking gratification, this means lacking in wisdom, right? This kind, the kindness is all conditional. You can be so generous, but you don't quarrel with people, meh? Don't fight with people, meh? You don't take offense when people say something to you, meh? This kind, you can imagine that the kindness it's there. I'm not saying it's not. But giving in to the lobha dosa, giving in to the anger, the frustration, giving in to your craving, delight, that giving in will also be there. Which means that this individual, his kindness is conditional and it will not last. Say, example, when I say it doesn't last means, let's say this individual begin to have problems at work with health or demands placed on him from family, from friends. When that kind of pressure pile up, you will also see that the kindness, the patience will shake. It will not last. Like that, lor. And for this, there's nothing wrong. In fact, a lot of us are like that. Many of us have some modicum of wisdom and some degree of kindness, but it's seasonal and conditional, depending on mood, depending on who I'm with, depending on the time of the day, etc., etc. It's conditional. And the question?
No, she's just commenting on you asked for an example.
Yes, this is actually quite common. And this kind of kindness or generosity is, I keep stressing the word conditional. Our teaching is unconditional. Regardless of your mood, regardless of feelings, regardless of your attachments or not to the individual, the kindness must surge as a baseline, automatically. So even when I am hurting and I'm unhappy for whatever reason, I will still not allow words to come out of the mouth that hurts. Something like that. Okay? That's it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I'll pass
A few
back
things
to,
that-
yeah.
The few things that I want to do now. This is where I will invite everyone to be joyous. If you have enjoyed this talk, to recall the joy, to feel the gratitude, and to be reminded that in our practice, we want to cultivate wholesome mental states, especially on the mental state of generosity. And one expression of generosity is dana. Opening your wallet, turning on your handphone, and extending a helping hand to whatever organization that needs your help financially. Okay? A reminder to everyone here that we are very fortunate. In this life, we cross paths with the Dharma in a big way. We have opportunity to practice, to listen to Sangha, enlightened Sangha. to have the Buddha's teaching still widely and easily, readily available to us in a language we can appreciate, understand, we're very blessed. Because the teaching will guide us to stay on a wholesome path and be good people in this life. The actions that we undertake will then affect our future lives. We must be mindful of that, so that in days when we are hurting, when we are disappointed, we don't regret the life. We will still say, this is a good life. It's a blessed life. We still have all these wonderful blessings, okay? Finally, a wish for the Dharma. We all wish that the Dharma will continue for a long time. We all wish that. And we all would make the aspiration that supportive conditions such as what we enjoy today will continue to be available to us after this life and in future lives. And may we all continue to stay on the path, stay on this teaching for as long as life lasts. With this joy that we now all experience, I would like to invite us all to dedicate the merits, share merits, dedicate the merits to two aunties who have passed on over the last couple of days. Dedicate merits in memory of Madam Lim Siu Jin, passed on 2 days ago, about 2 days ago. May she be well and happy wherever she has been reborn. And also with Madam Wee Siu Kiao, who passed on the same night, same day. I don't know if it's night or day. So let's just give a minute to wish them well. May they both be reborn well and be able to continue on the Dharma wherever they are. Also invite your departed loved ones to partake in our merits. And all beings, may they all be well and happy. I have an announcement for you too. BF took up all my time announcing away, so my turn to announce. A group of young professionals have launched a web page to it's called Handful of Leaves, and on this they will share, I think on a daily basis, teachings relevant to our lay life. Please do check them out. Okay, I'm good. No. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Thank you, Sister Sylvia, for the Dharma talk and the sharing of merits. Yeah. Now, we would like to invite all the devas as well as all beings to partake in the quiet merits that we have done this morning. Let us chant together. Etavata cha amhehi samvatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya etavata cha amhehi samvatang punya sampadang Sabbe Bhuta Anumodantu. Sabba Sampati Siddhya. Etavata Cha Amhehi. Samvatang Punya Sampadang. Sabbe Satta Anumodantu. Sabba Sampati Siddhya. We will now share the merits to our departed relatives and friends. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. And on service dedication, let us recite together. I dedicate the merits which I have accumulated to the cultivation of my mind in order to bring happiness and benefits to all sentient beings. I dedicate the merits to my parents, children, spouse, relatives, friends, colleagues, and my adversaries, wishing them long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity. May we never part from the Triple Gem, and may we always walk the path towards enlightenment. We will now do the closing homage to pay respect to the Triple Gem. Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you everyone for joining us this morning. May you be well and happy. See you again next week.